And that is Adia NPP yeah from 1992. And from 1992, the NPP, the NDC all came out to campaign. But for some reason, the NPP for messaging now was that NDC for you to travel. Omo free soldier buying with the buy into be or join NDC biano sebio of for soldier buying into a so. Now remember, NPP as a political party, all the coups are a see Ghana and Sana JJ Rawlings Ebeku 1979 and 1982 or 83 no. Now all the coups now ya no Ghana no. The NPP that has changed its name to become NPP today, no, they were involved in every single coup that had happened in this country. About 6 coups, the NPP were in there. But for some reason, 1992, yaba democracy, all that the NPP preached was that PNDC, NDC, to join NDC, to training. They did not talk about JB Dankwa's involvement in the previous coups you see how Dankwa Busia Bombomo were part, they masterminded the killing of Nkrumah, how they made sure Kotokamo any a free farmer any omokana omuye soldier for kuno. They don't talk about that because they wanted you to believe something that did not exist. Into from 1992, majority of Ghanaians did not even understand why NDC war, because they created that impression, and it was a consistent doctrine. It was a persistent doctrine. It was a doctrine that was done not just on the street, it was also infused into our education. Because we will be to say he was the man behind the social studies books. So all the books that we read, time and year JHS, primary, do this time, no, social studies, no, all the history, we thought people wrote to make sure, say, our past is being recorded and archived, you know. Edubwa Hinana or a founding member of the NPP, no, they make sure, say, when they write or they were writing about Ghana's history when it came to politics, you know, they made sure, say, everything was centered on the actions of the PNDC era. They did not put a lot of emphasis on Efrifa, on Kotoka, on the other coups that happened before JJ Rawlings. Because when they emphasize on those coups, what will happen? And they say, now the young people will start to understand, they say, the PNDC JJ Rawlings era, no, it wasn't bad. Because, say, Oshe, the 1979 coup and the 1982-83 coup now, that was the coup that brought us to independence. But the coups that were orchestrated and sponsored by the NPP UP, and the Omo Jankwa group now, those coups na see it did not pave way for Kebi in Ghana. That is why Edubwa Hindems moved away or never emphasized on the previous coups but emphasized on the 1979 coup, 1983 coup, because they wanted the young people coming up. That's the indoctrination. They wanted the young people like us coming up, to believe, say, the NDCP, the PNDC, NDC, or JJ Rawlings PNDC were evil, and that anybody who tries to entertain the history of PNDC, not JJ Rawlings, that person or your man before. A certain generation never associated themselves with the NDC, because the moment you do that, you are seen as somebody who supports crime. And it's like when you went into our various universities, our tertiary institutions, you saw few people being part of NDC youth groups. They were scared to be part of it because we had already been brainwashed in our primary schools and our senior high schools before entering our tertiary institutions. So the moment you try to join such a group, you yourself started feeling guilty because some people will see you say, now we're joining NDC. And that was how the Jandam started. That was how the brainwash started. And that is how the NPP became relevant from 1992 to 2024. Now, the NPP started becoming irrelevant in our politics in 2012. From 2012, people like myself and other people around Ghana or around the world started asking questions. In fact, those questions were being asked, but they were not asked so much. People did not persist. People did not push the system to give them answers. Into who will be to say Japan or NPP moi. What made him famous, or his springboard? Ojina so or the be Japan be general secretary NPP mu say Okachenko for say nani papa PNDC for the kuno, no a lawyer or a judge. You see a riffraff like Paul Adamotri. You see somebody like Kweku Bako. So when you look at the people who were doing the talking for a NPP, they were not directly speaking for the NPP as official NPP spokespeople, but they were speaking as if said, those people from CPP, from other political parties, they were all speaking against the PNDC, NDC because those people use that history to become relevant in our politics. And the Community Japan say, oh, because the DNA money relevant to Ghana politics, but say, oh, Community Japan and Papa judge in Yukuno, RAWLINGS time. You say, na Kwekubako, so Kwekubako, waka Ghana politics or journalists, because you see Judge RAWLINGS and Breno, you chidi tumu. And there are so many of them in the system. They use that to become relevant. Now, from 2012, ABC 2016, the system na ebusa questions. The young people started asking questions. Social media was becoming a little powerful. So now the NPP started getting jittery. That was when they brought Ekufuado again. Now they had to devise another strategy. And that strategy was that if the people are now asking questions, let's use the same medium where they are going to use to get the answers to go after them. When I say after them, to convince them that the questions they are asking wasn't relevant. So the NPP adopted another strategy. They went into investing in the media. They went into tapping into the traditional media to do their bidding for them. At a point, you realize, say, they bought a lot of radio stations around the nation. Now they put their tribal boys and girls on it. And the agenda was that let the people, the young people asking questions. Because that time, Ash FM, Peace FM, Angel FM, Inshira FM, FM. So Abu Busa questions now, find a way to let them know, say, the questions they were asking wasn't relevant. And that your version of the answer is irrelevant. Into best no panako kuku kwam sefa kan to kweku ba to openye jekum to their job is to let you believe, say, as some na tu kweku ba no, you should never forget to say kweku ba ye chini to mu into JJ Rawlings and in the party na for nyina their murderers. Kwame Sefa kan was sit there and play the neutral, but the agenda was there to make sure the NDC and people who are asking questions about how our democracy came by, they have been given an answer. It will still sound to say the NDC is evil. Into the NPP used another strategy by investing in the media and using the media that was supposed to tell us the truth. Now the media was lying to the people of Ghana. In tobacco radio, so TV, so what they do is that the journalists now, you people respected and relied on for information that has been verified, the jandam was there. A honana jandam, you groomy jandam, So the journalists, the so-called radio stations and the so-called journalists, they were polluting the system.